Everyone. My name is Susanna Sisson, and I've written a series of children's books about a little snail who tries to save the bees and other endangered species. When the book came about, I really didn't have any plans of writing a series of children's books. It came about by accident, really. You see, I was volunteering at the Canine Angel Rescue in Houston, Texas, and I was taking the 7 a.m. shift because no one else wanted to get up that early on a weekend. And I was walking Sugar the pit bull, or she was walking me. In fact, she dragged me over into the bushes trying to ferret out a feral cat. It was long gone by then. And I saw a little place where the cat had been sleeping, a small indentation, and reached down to feel it, and it was still warm. And when I leaned over to feel the indentation, I saw a little snail who was on a blade of grass. Well, he was fearless. I picked him up, and rather than shrink back into his shell, he just seemed to stretch his neck out farther as if he was looking at me. And I came up with this line. In fact, I said to the little snail, "Ooh, you're going to go into my garden. I'm taking you home with me." So the line was, "Sylvester the Snail is a silly old thing who loves pretty flowers and things covered with bling." Well, I took him back, put him in a coffee cup, and later took him home with me. But when I was talking to my friends there at the shelter and told them the story of finding the snail and the cat and the being dragged along by the dog, one of them said, "What a great story. You need to go home. You need to finish that. My granddaughter would love it, and I'd like to hear the rest of the story." So that was a Mother's Day about 3 years ago. And I did finish the story later on that night, later worked on illustrations. And now I'm going to read to you Sylvester the Snail and the Great Big Parade. I hope you enjoy it. Sylvester the Snail is a silly old thing who loves pretty flowers and things covered with bling. He lives in a garden, a magical place, with mushrooms, gardenias, and regal queen's lace, a mystical kingdom of which he is king, and though not a title, an attitude thing. While he lives in a garden, his home is a shell that he carries along with him and wears very well. A spiral of beauty and practical too. No need for a castle or to live in a shoe. His blessings are many, his worries are few, as he enjoys the sunlight and fresh morning dew. His pace isn't rapid, in fact it's quite slow, but he gets where he's going and he knows where to go. He knows life is a journey, it isn't a race. The point is to enjoy, whatever your pace. His friends are the spiders, the earthworms, and those who live up above him, and some down below. The beetles, the mantis, and ladybug too, who shows off her spots as she says, "Howdy do." The ants are our workers, butterflies and bees, that carry the pollen from flowers to trees, which may seem like a small thing, but really it's not. For without pollination, then what have we got? No flowers, no honey, no fruit trees or vines, nothing to eat, and not very much time. Even the bats play an important part, as they pollinate flowers way after dark. And not only that, they're like farmers with wings, as they drop little seeds that become growing things. So let's honor the bees, bats, and butterflies too, who give us this bounty. Thanks for all that you do. In fact, we're so thankful, we'd just like to say, thank you again and hip hip hooray. Let's make it official and throw a parade with streamers and banners and pink lemonade. So he traveled the kingdom and asked everyone what they thought of his plan and what could be done. He spoke to the squirrels and the fish in the pond, the birds as they nested, and the frog on the frond. He asked the chameleon, who was sunning nearby, what he thought of his plan and if he would try to gather the others the following day and hoped they'd commune and help plan the parade. So into the night the old snail sat thinking, while the fireflies lit up the dark sky with their blinking. He thought long and hard how to honor the bees for the effort they make taking care of the trees. Then he thought, wait a minute, it's not just the bees. It's the bats, the birds, butterflies, even beetles. It's the mantis, the lizard, the sweet ladybug, the spiders and earthworms, and fireflies above. We all work together for one and for all, for the good of all creatures, no matter how small, for the good of the earth, this great spinning ball. It's always been teamwork that gets the job done, when we work one for all and work all for one. So the wise old snail now knew what to say, and he slept really soundly up into the day. He awoke to the sound of a gathering crowd, and he stretched out his long neck and then spoke aloud. Welcome, welcome, my friends all alike. We have gathered together to celebrate life. We have come to this place on this beautiful day to honor each other and plan our parade. We should know it's important to respect and to serve, and if we do that, we get what we deserve. We must all work together to care for the earth, and in working together, we shall see a rebirth. For we are all part of God's wonderful plan, but we can't live our lives with our heads in the sand. We must care for our planet, its land and its seas, because it's up to us all, not just the bees. At first there was silence, and then slowly a din, as the crowd gave a loud and resounding Amen. It is not up to one, it is up to us all, to protect all God's creatures, the large and the small. And later that day, in a grand celebration, they made it official with a true coronation. The silly old snail, who was not silly at all, became king of the garden once and for all. I hope you enjoyed that, and, well, have a great evening and sweet dreams. Thank you.